my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is highly requested. I swear I get asked this every day, whether it be on Snapchat, here on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, somewhere, somebody in the world asks me, can I do an updated piercings video? It's been a year and a half since I did my last piercing video, and I think I've gotten like maybe 1-2 extra new piercings since then. So I'm gonna go through all my piercings. I'm gonna explain to you guys about the pain of them, and my pain threshold is pretty high, guys. I'm just going to express that right now because I've had so many of them done and people have said that they've killed, and I've been like, it's all right. Just bear that in mind. My pain threshold and healing time is very different to yours. I think I have maybe about 13, maybe 14 piercings. We'll know more as we are picking them out. If I say any of the names of them wrong, I apologize right now because I can't remember at this very moment, like some of the piercings that I got like 10,000 million years ago, what the names of them were at the time. So let's start back where it all began with the very first piercings that I ever got, and that's my earlobe. Sorry guys if the lighting keeps going very funny. I don't know what the sun is doing today, but anyway, earlobes, first thing I got done. I was about 4. My auntie did them. She had like a fashion shop or jewelry store, and I was 4 years old when I got them done. My mum wanted to get them done for me, and I got them done before I started school in the height of the 90s. Yeah, still have them to this day. Don't think they were very painful. I would say possibly maybe a 2 out of like 10 because they were just earlobes and you know there's no major cartilage there. Healing time, I've no idea, but I would say estimate about 4 or 5 weeks because they're earlobes. They'll heal pretty quickly, but again, it's still like an open wound, so you gotta clean it and whatever. The next one I have up here now, is this your Helix? I don't know. I got this done when I was 11. Generally cartilage is recommended to be done with a needle, but the lady that did mine did it with a gun. The issue with doing with a gun is it can get stuck in the ear and it's not really hygienic as well. The person that I get all my piercings done with now said that that Helix one was really badly done, and that's why it took so long to heal. I went and got my Helix done by myself. I would not recommend going to get any piercings done by yourself if you don't have the permission of your parent, because I got in big trouble by my mama. She was like, what are you doing? Don't be getting piercings without me. And like here I am like 15 piercings later. I was just very young when I got that done. It was done with a gun, wasn't done properly, so it took a ridiculous amount of time to heal, and it was painful, and it did kind of get a little bit infected. So yeah, cartilage apparently should only ever be done with a needle because it can shatter the cartilage if you do it with a gun, and that's probably what happened with this. Like, it took so long to heal, and it kind of made my ear look a little bit like misshapen. Like slightly at the top, you can kind of see like a kind of like, I don't know, the curled over bit. I don't know the technical names for any of the parts of my ear, but the part here that like curls over, it kind of went a little bit misshapen. The next piercings that I got are my double lobes. Now I don't have anything in this one because I have a new piercing here healing, and I just didn't want to put anything else in to like annoy that one. The reason I got them done is because one of my best friends who passed away, and I've mentioned this before in my other videos, my best friend when I was 13, like such a close, near and dear friend, we got our cartilage done together, and we promised that we would get our second lobes done together, but she wasn't around to get them done. So not long after her funeral, I actually got my second lobes done. Every time I put an earring in my second lobes, I'm always like, oh, it just reminds me of Ashley so much. So that is the story behind them two. They weren't very painful at all, same as earlobes, and they were done with a gun, so they were quick and like it was over very quickly. So the next piercing then I got done was my tongue. I love that piercing. I take it out quite often, and most of the time I take it out is because of my teeth. You can damage your teeth so much with tongue bars. It's one of the piercings that I'm always a bit like wary of, and I have bitten the plastic balls off it. I've used plastic bars, I've used plastic balls, everything, and I still can like bite through them. And also not everybody can get their tongue done. Your tongue is very rich in blood supply as well, so if you have veins running down the center of your tongue like that, you just can't get it done because it would puncture through your vein, and that's not good. You have to have veins in the right kind of area in order to get it done. I should have said as well, in Ireland you have to be over 16 to get piercings done, and under 16 with the like permission of a parent. But generally most piercings like tongue and like nipples and stuff like that, they won't do them until you're like over 16. But I got my tongue done because I just was one of those piercings that I really wanted. I just loved it, and I don't have any issues with it now. It doesn't chip any of my teeth or anything like that. It took a while to heal. I was on liquid food, I'd say, for probably about a week. It was not really comfortable, and anytime the bar went in front of my bottom teeth, it was excruciatingly painful. But in general, The piercing itself was pretty pain-free. The healing time was definitely the more painful side of the piercing, so do be aware of that if you are getting that done. I will write down in the description bar below as well the pain and length of healing. I will also mention this, if you are getting your tongue pierced, whoever's doing your piercing will put a clamp on your tongue, so you're sticking your tongue out and saliva does drop. Like, I think I had like a big like dribble like fall out of my mouth onto the floor. It's pretty gross. Not gonna lie, but yeah, stuff like that does happen. So you're sticking out your tongue, he's clamping it, that's fine. Needle goes through the center of the clamp because the clamp is like holding where you need to get the tongue pierced, and then he'll put the piercing through. The piercing going through is definitely a little bit more painful than the needle. All much of a muchness. Healing side of it is just awful. For the first like hour you're fine, and then your tongue starts to swell and you feel like you've just so much saliva in your mouth and you're like drooling on yourself because your tongue is like massive in your mouth and you can't eat solid food. If you do start eating again, you have to really slowly, and you're constantly conscious of it. Your tongue is a muscle, so it heals relatively quickly, but just be aware of that. The healing time is probably the worst part of the tongue piercing. And also, to clean out your tongue, you're giving a mouthwash because you obviously can't use like saline solution around your mouth because that would just be disgusting. My next piercing is this one here. I have no idea what that's called, but I was just in Jimmy's car one day and I was looking in the mirror and I was like, I kind of want a piece of jewelry out there, so I ended up getting it pierced. And yeah, I really like that piercing. I've always liked that piercing. I changed the jewelry on that piercing probably the most out of all of them. It was relatively pain-free, about a 3 out of 10. It took absolutely no time whatsoever to heal. So the next piercing that I got was my tragus, which is right over here. I love my tragus. One of my favorite piercings. I got my tragus done when I was in college. And I remember the day that I went to get it done, everyone saying to me, oh, your cartilage is going to crack. It's going to be so unpleasant. I didn't hear, well, I don't know. Like, I can't remember if I heard like a crack in my ear, and things like that don't even bother me. Like, I kind of get a kick out of when I get piercings and then like healing them and looking after them. That was about a 5 out of 10 in pain, and healing about a 4. It wasn't too bad. The only issue I ever had was like my bangs, as you call them, or my fringe and my hair getting kind of like caught in it, and sometimes it like pull. That was like the worst thing, but other than that it was fine. Really easy to get in or around, clean, pleasant piercing. I didn't have any issues with it, to be honest. Okay, the next piercing is my Rook, and that's the one I got done after my tragus. And I got my Rook, and then this one over here, which is your forward helix, I got them done like in or around a week apart, so I actually can't remember which one I got done first, but I feel like I got the Rook done first. Rook, again, same as the tragus, same kind of like pain. That one was a little bit more painful now to heal than my tragus, I think, because my tragus was a little bit less cartilage, whereas your Rook, you're going through a bigger chunk of cartilage. It was definitely a little bit more painful. Again, I'd say about a 4 out of 10, the same as getting your tragus done, and healing time was a little bit longer just because of the amount of cartilage that it had to go through and just the healing of it. But in general, it was actually fine. Like, I didn't really find it too uncomfortable. So the last one on this side, forward helix, I think that's what that's called, this one here. I really like that one. Again, that was the same as the tragus, about a 4 out of 10 for pain. Healing time, very quick. It wasn't too painful. It was definitely better getting the ring in it than the bar. I need to get the hoops or rings or whatever changed. I've had the same ones since I got them pierced, and I definitely have both of those piercings maybe 5-6 years. Last piercing on this side is my Tragus. Tragus, I have that done about 7 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. It's still healing, guys. Like, it still scabs over like a tiny bit. I know this sounds really gross, but you clean it out every single day and it's fine. This one was the only one that kind of gave me any type of bother, because if I was wearing my earphones, it would definitely interfere with it. But other than that, it's actually fine. The healing time in this as well was a little bit more lengthy. And I would say, again, a 4 out of 10, maybe a 5. It was a little bit more painful than their tragus. And healing was definitely maybe a 6. It was a pretty painful piercing to heal. I don't know why. I think it's just the positioning of it, and definitely because I lie on the side of my head. Like, I don't lie with my face on my pillow, obviously, because I would smother to death. So it was just kind of irritating. And then I wear headphones quite a lot. So again, it was just kind of like interfering with my ear. I completely forgot all about my belly button, guys. I had my belly button done since I was 13, I think, maybe younger. My mum brought me to get it done when I was pretty young. It was the most seamless piercing I think I've had to date. I never had a single issue with it. It healed so quickly. The pain of it was probably like a 2 or 3 out of 10. It was so not painful, and it healed super quick. I have heard many a horror story about a belly button piercing. For me, it was just pretty fine, like it was great. I had no issues, but I have heard people saying that it can have an odor. Mine never did, thank God. And then I have heard that the skin around the belly button can start to like grow out, which I think that would definitely be a case of needing to take it out. But in over the 10 years that I've had it, I've never had an issue with it at all, and I feel like it's like one of the best piercings that I have, and I would highly recommend it if you have permission from a parent to get it done, because don't do that otherwise. Just don't go behind their back. Believe me, you'll get in so much crap and it's not worth it. Okay, so my second last piercing is my nipple. I'm obviously not going to show you that. I have my left nipple done. I didn't get my right one done. I should have got them done the same day because I always wanted to get the second one done, and now I'm like too just not interested in it because it was very painful. I think that's one of my most painful piercings. I'm gonna stress that that was one of the most painful piercings that I've ever had done. I would say it was in or around a 7 to get done. Gave me like the feels. I was like I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. It was pretty painful. You have so much sensitivity in your nipples, obviously, and it was definitely one of the most painful piercings. If you have a low threshold for pain, I would definitely stay clear of it, possibly. But then again, it might not be as sore for you. I just have clearly very sensitive ones, and yeah, it was pretty tender. The healing time of it was, I think, a little bit longer than it like mine should have been, because every single time my nipples, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually talking about this, but anytime that it was cold, let's say, it would swell and it would just cause more pain, and then it would start again. So it's just one of those piercings that was kind of notorious. I've heard people say that it's taken years, you know, years and years and years for it to heal. Mine's been relatively fine since I got it done. I think I got it done maybe nearly 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and I've never had an issue with it, nothing like that. I still do clean it regularly just because of the area that it's at. I don't go in with a loofah because that's just dangerous, believe me. I have caught a loofah and been like, oh, so just be careful with that. So I do go in and actually manually like clean it and just clean around the area just to kind of keep it spick and span. And then my last piercing that I want to talk about is like the second last one that I got done, is my nose. I don't think I had that done in my last piercings video, but I have that one done a year and a half as well, maybe. I think I got my nipple and my nose done in or around like 2-3 weeks apart. Nose piercing, absolutely fine. Maybe a like 2 out of 10 for pain, and healing about a 3-4 out of 10. It was eye-watering. That's all it was. My eyes just watered a tiny bit when I got the piercing done. I didn't feel any pain whatsoever, and healing was amazing. It was the best piercing for healing and for everything. Like it was unreal. Yeah, I think that's all of my piercings to date. Have I any plans for new ones? Because I know you guys are probably wondering that. I have to get something up here. Like I have to. It's bare up there, and then on this side I would love to get in here done. Is it your conch, where it goes right through the center part of your ear? It's kind of on the side here, but I just want to get like a really nice piece of jewelry just that kind of like sits in there, and then I think that ear is done, because I think there's no more room for any more piercings. Anyway guys, that is all of my piercings to date. I'm sure I'll have another one by the next time I do a piercings video, because I'm always wanting to get new ones, and every time I see like people getting piercings and them healing, I'm like, I want to get one too. Thank you so much for watching today guys. I love you so much, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.